Hey friends, I'm Laura Major, a realtor with Century 21 Signature Real Estate, and today we're going to be talking to my clients Corbin and Maddox about the home that they recently purchased. What were two things that home had to have? Space for a home bar and space for their self-proclaimed zoo. Let's see what they have to say. Recap for us, me, and whoever chooses to watch this video. One dog, one cat, four ferrets?
So when we were living in the apartment, at the peak of our zoo, we had one dog, three cats, six ferrets, a fish, three guinea pigs, and a lizard.
That really is a zoo. Oh my gosh.
And then
Mr. Well behaved.
the fish passed. The lizard went off to a better home that was better suited for a lizard. One of our ferrets sadly passed in April. Misty, our old lady cat, was no longer with us. She passed away about a month before we moved
It
into
was
the
just before
house.
moving. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember.
Yep. So now we are down to one cat, one dog, and five ferrets.
Five ferrets. My count was off on the ferrets. Okay, so I feel like we jumped forward there. We're like forward thinking, which is great. But let's backtrack. We were in an apartment with our zoo and wanting to get a house. How long do you think that you guys thought about getting a house before you decided to go for it? I remember there were some water issues with the apartment and there's a lot going on, but how long did it take before you were like, we're doing this, we're getting a house?
3 years. I want to say we lived in the apartment for a total of about 7 years. It would have been about 3 years in, right before the pandemic, that we were like, yeah, we should start looking at houses. And then a string of unfortunate events happened every time we started looking, and it wasn't until about a year and a half ago ish, 2 years ago, that we actually like were able to make those steps. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I remember you guys really like I think I told you many times if I could copy and paste you, you guys were the buyers that would just because you did everything that you were supposed to. You said, we want to buy a house, but we need to do X, Y, and Z, and I'll call you in June when X, Y, and Z are done, you know?
yep. And we talked with I remember having you recommend bankers and all of that to us for loans, and it was, yep, we sat down with Tabitha, and she walked us through what the money situation would look like, what we needed for down payment, what we needed kind of to pay off, what the standards were. And told us essentially like, hey, make your plan, and when you're ready, I'll be here to get you situated. And that was the most time that anybody had ever taken to like sit down with us and actually explain things. That was phenomenal. Um, we genuinely, we could not have done it without the help of the people that gave us the information they did.
Well, and even you said you guys kind of really gave it, we want to buy a house during the pandemic, and things changed so drastically, even between 2020 and last year when you guys finally did, buy your home. So the market is constantly changing. So I think kudos to you for recognizing that having a guide to get you through it is beneficial, is worthwhile.
Yeah, it was definitely great to have those resources, and to be able to have those resources, not just when they were beneficial to the resources, but also like, hey, I have this contract sitting in front of me, I don't understand it, give you a call, and hey, what do these things mean, what do these words mean, like having somebody to explain those technical terms, the terms that, on the back end of things, no buyer understands those words unless they've seen them before, and being able to ask about, you know, ask about down payments and the expectation for different things, and like the I can't even think of the name of the word now.
For what?
The
Earnest money, warranty, inspection, all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but you guys took instruction so incredibly well. Because I remember you paid off some debt. I think you got a promotion in between when we first talked and when you got, so you increased that income and really.
I went from the first time I had reached out to you, I was just leaving Lowe's. And then I got a promotion in that time from the new management position I had gotten to. I was a store manager at my job. And that was a big deal. In that time, that gave me that extra edge that I needed for the last payments that we needed to really get ourselves going, which was nice.
Yeah, and it ended up you guys put yourself in the best position. I love this for whenever my clients can use the Iowa Finance Authority, which you guys were able to use because of the work that you did. And that's a program that gives eligible buyers, and it can be first-time home buyers, and it can be people who have owned a home before. But this program can give a couple of different options. But the option that we were able to use for you was that 5% silent second mortgage, and so you were able to receive, yeah, the down payment and cover some closing costs.
More than that, we walked out netting, what was it, like 20, yeah, it was like 2,800 or something like that.
Yeah, you guys bought a house and got paid, got paid to buy a house. Yes, it's. I mean, I tell that story all the time because I'm just so proud of you guys and for doing the things and putting yourself in a position to be able to do that. Because in addition to that state program, we also got some closing costs paid for by the seller, which was able to, yeah, ultimately put money in your pocket to be able to do some of the projects that we knew that you were inheriting with your home. So I think that's a good segue. Let's talk about your home. So we had looked at a couple, some off market, some kind of just to get a feel for things. But by the time you were ready and pre-approved and the timing was right, we only looked at this house. Like the one that you're sitting in now, it's the only house that we ever actually seriously
Officially
looked at. Yeah. Yeah. So what about it caught your eye initially? And then what made you say yes to the address, to be cute about it?
I like that. So we knew I have a we've known that I have a skill set that a lot of buyers don't. I was lucky to be raised by a contractor. So I'm jack of all trades. I know a little bit of electrical, a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of roofing. I know a little bit of everything. I also have a great resource network in terms of friends and acquaintances, both from working at Lowe's and just family friends from passed on, that if there's something I don't know or if there's something that I don't have enough skill in, I'm confident that one of them will. So that said, I knew that the best option for us, in terms of finances and whatnot, was to look for a house that needed a little fixing up. It also worked for us because we wanted a home that wasn't just ours right out the gate. We wanted one that we could turn into ours over time. That was a big thing for me. My grandfather bought a house when I was little that he turned into his home over the last 3 decades, and that's something I wanted for me. So coming into the home and seeing like little things like unique to our home, like it definitely needed some updated electrical. It's got an older roof on it, so it does need that coming up. The last guy did some home renovations, but very clearly stopped halfway through a lot of them. So we don't have any trim throughout most of the
Except
house.
for that window trim that will survive a hurricane.
so weird. It's like
So many
20
nails.
nails in the one window trim, and none of the other windows have any trim. So silly.
He's going to do a job well or not at all. Okay, that was his motto.
It is.
Put trim in here.
That's original to the house. That trim doesn't exist in today's world. But yeah, it was definitely a that had something to do with it. It was also, this house had something that a lot of houses don't. It was built in the 1940s, and it still has a lot of that old style charm to it. The non-conforming rooms, the strange shaped ceiling, just little
Arch
things
behind
like
your
that.
head right now.
Yep, the arch is behind my head right now. So I actually found out. So the neighbor that lives next door has lived here since the 60s, and he has done a lot of the work in this house in terms of updating with the last like 5 or 6 owners. So one of the arches in this house, actually, the one here, I will just show you.
Yeah, take it away.
So this arch over here is not original to the house. This is the archway entering into the home. This used to be all open, and the last owners wanted to add in this lighting and this like archway, and they wanted it to meld with the rest of the house. So he helped them take measurements from the other archways and build this in
Oh
to
my
look like the rest
gosh.
of the house.
It
Yeah.
does too. Like,
Oh yeah, it
I
looks
would,
like
that's
it's original. Like it,
amazing. Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
Well, and I love the vaulted entryway. I remember when we opened the door, that was just like, whoa. You know, like it was unexpected and very cool.
It definitely, like, it set the mood for the rest of the house. It immediately walking in and seeing that open entryway with, I mean, especially coming from an apartment that it didn't have any storage, it didn't have any like ways of making storage, like walking in and immediately seeing like a hideaway area for shoes and an amazing place to hang up everything, but also feeling open, not feeling like cramped like it usually does with those things, was just a great start to walking this home.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I remember specifically we were looking for a spot that was big enough to fit Corbin's bar.
Yes,
Yes, and we found it.
we did. The biggest worry was that we weren't going to be able to take this bar with us. It is all real walnut. We were very, very proud of it. We got it after a house, after the apartment flooded and destroyed the last one, and we were kind of devastated about it. But we found that it fits perfectly in the dining room, which was very, very
Yes.
exciting. I do
Yeah,
not have
that
the
was
lights
just
on.
such a big piece. I remember we were always measuring and
Other
trying
side,
to make
they're
sure.
in the cage. Co
And you
wants
still put a
to
dining
make sure.
table in the dining room. Like that's not a tiny dining room. That's a good size. And
Oh yeah.
so many older homes kind of lack a designated space. That looks great.
Corbin wants to be sure that this is included. We
Oh,
added
very
lights
nice.
behind.
Some mood lighting.
Oh yeah.
This, wait, do you bartend professionally on the side, or this is strictly a hobby?
It is strictly a hobby.
Strictly a hobby. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I've heard you mention neighbors more than once, and neighborhood and location was very important to you guys. Do you feel like, do we feel like we hit that nail on the head? I mean, you're making
I
friends with the
do.
neighbors, it sounds like.
We were very, very lucky. We live a lifestyle that we were very scared wasn't going to come across in the best way to a lot of people. But almost immediately we were welcomed in. The neighbor next door, as overbearing as he is very kind. He is a retired old man who genuinely is just looking out for the neighborhood. He's been described by the other neighbors as the unofficial neighborhood watch. Um, he got my number day one, and he will message me if packages are left on my doorstep for more than an hour. He'll tell me that he's keeping an eye out so that nobody grabs them.
We've never taken our trash cans down to the.
Yeah, I don't think we've had to take our trash cans down once since moving in. He just gets them every Tuesday. Like,
Neighbors can like really make or break a house sometimes, you know? Like
Oh
you
yeah.
might think about the best house and then you start to meet the neighbors and you're like, what did we do? But it sounds like
Yeah.
excellence is
The
in
neighbors on the
works.
other side, they came over, they gave us their numbers, they told us if we needed anything to reach out. It's actually really cool. Our dog is a puppy mill rescue and is hyper anxiety for everything. He is so scared of everything. But they slowly introduced their dog to him through our backyard fence. And now every time he goes outside, he looks for her. That's his friend.
Oh,
And it's gotten him so much more tolerable towards other animals and other humans, and it's great. The neighbors come up to him and they know his boundaries, and they'll come up to him through the fence and like let him sniff them so that he's slowly
He
getting
likes
used to
their
people.
kid.
Like, yeah, he likes their kid, which we never expected. They've got like
oh
a
my
4-year-old and he
gosh.
just loves her.
Oh my gosh, you guys. That sounds so perfect.
It's weird. He's turning
Um,
into a dog.
oh, he just needed the right space. And I remember we looked at the yard. I mean, it's a good size yard.
Oh yeah.
So
It wasn't
so
dark.
let's
I'd
go
show
over.
pictures of it, but it is gorgeous. A friend of mine is working. We have above ground garden beds that are in a separate little fenced in area, so Charlie can't get to them, which is so exciting. I have a friend of mine who is working with me to prep those for this year for growing. So we're gonna grow. God only knows what. She's all about gardening, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
she's gonna put me to work this summer. Can't wait.
I love that for you.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we talk pretty often and we haven't even covered like all of this really good stuff. Like I've got all the warm and fuzzies right now. Like I'm just like so happy for you guys. Um, and so it sounds like you're still loving the house, even though it was the first one that you were ever seriously looking at. Obviously, every person's experience is different, but you guys fell in love with the first house. Recommend that experience or advice to other buyers about being willing to fall in love?
My biggest advice to anybody starting their journey is,
Definitely know what you're looking for.
yeah, have an idea of what you're looking for and know that no house is going to check every single box. That's not realistic. You're gonna, if you want a house to check every single box, you're gonna have to either build it from scratch or make it check your boxes. For instance, we wanted a pool. We didn't get a pool outright, but we're going to get one. Um,
Got you.
we wanted, I wanted a larger office space where we didn't get it. We're making one. Things like that are one of those, like, you're gonna have to be realistic about your expectations, but also know where you want to draw the line. Like, I knew I had to have a large amount of storage. Corbin and I live lifestyles where we bounce from hobby to hobby very often. We both keep a lot of stuff from our past memories and whatnot, so we knew that we had to have a lot of storage space for those. So that was an area that I was not willing to give up on. It's a matter of balance. It's a matter of knowing where you're going to have to draw the line, but also being willing to say, "Hey, I'm not going to draw the line on this one. This is an absolute." And whether they work with you or another realtor, they definitely need to be willing to speak up for that and tell them, like, "Hey, this is the place I'm going to live for the next 10 to presumably 30 plus years. I want to be sure that my space matches my expectations or that I can make it match my expectations going forward."
All right, that was a great conversation. And what are the takeaways? Know what you want and then surround yourself with people who are going to help you get it. And if you happen to find what you want at the first home, don't be afraid to say yes to the address, because when you get to closing day, it's all worth it. So if you're ready to find your home, give me a call today and we'll start your search.